What are you seeing there?
Jennifer, I'm seeing lots of water. Let me show you what that water is doing to this Ledbetter neighborhood. You see behind me, for those folks that live in that part of the neighborhood, there's about 6 houses back there. Unfortunately, for them, it's too late. The water came in so fast on Sunday, a lot of them couldn't get out with much more than what they had on. And this house beside me, though, this is the next line of defense. You see, this gentleman here has put sandbags all around his house, even has his air conditioning unit up on cinder blocks. He's ready for just about anything. And then this woman who lives in this house, we've been here today, and you can see that it's been sandbagged all around the house. But here's what's interesting. She had it surveyed, and she found that this is the 54-foot line. This is what the National Weather Service was talking about when the river would crest its 54 feet. If it hit that, it would put the water into her back door, and she'd have a lot of loss here. However, since they're now talking about 52 feet, puts the water right here. So you can see how important that 52 feet is. It's led to some very sleepless nights. Well, Jennifer, right now a lot of people are leaving, and let me show you why. If you look down here at the Ohio River, you can see that it is up on the levee here. It's got a few feet to go before it actually tops the levee, but you can just imagine the forces pushing up against that concrete there. That's one reason why I talked to the mayor of Cairo today. He's issuing what he calls a strongly encouraged evacuation. He uses that term because he's not allowed to order people to leave. And this is why there is some frustration down here. They're frustrated with the process, with the very fight over this Birds Point levee, because they feel like the fight itself is endangering lives. Yeah, Trent, that rain you mentioned, a lot of people are watching that right now. It could be the difference for many communities, whether their homes are saved, whether the businesses survive. And tonight it has one local community really watching and waiting, and our own Lauren Adams is in Smithland, Kentucky with that story. Because this is in many ways the epicenter of this crisis, I want to explain the situation in Cairo, why that could be necessary. Okay, right now the river is at 59 feet. The top of this levee is at 64 feet. Now that's well above the expected crest of 61.5 feet. But here is the problem. That levee has never been tested at that expected crest of 61.5 feet, and it's expected to be there for several days. So you can imagine that this flood is going to test that levee in ways it has never been tested before. And although city officials are somewhat concerned about the levee, that's not what's keeping them awake at night. What they're really worried about is water literally being pushed underground into the city. In fact, we captured just a few minutes ago, this was earlier today, what an example of this happening, as a matter of fact. This is the water basically creating sinkholes, and you can see how the water is seeping up, and it is swallowing up that road. And that could happen again and again throughout buildings and homes throughout this town. And Jennifer, that is why there is this fight going on between Cairo and Birds Point. And as a matter of fact, our own Garen Thomas is here to explain why they even need to do this.
Well, Scott, what's going on in Livingston County?
Well, right now, Jennifer, I am at a mobile command center in Grand Rivers because essentially Smithland is now off limits to everyone. And that is because of what happened just about 90 minutes ago. The county EMA officials found what they believe to be a leak in that levee downtown Smithland, and they're saying that there could be a significant breach in just the next few hours. And they didn't even need to have that, though, to have people already packing up and moving out.
Scott, we understand a breach is imminent at the Smithland levee tonight, right?
Yeah, that is something that they are really concerned about, some leakage there. And of course, it is pouring rain once again, something we do not need. You know, I was in Smithland today with photojournalist Chad Darnell, and talking to the folks, you really got this disappointment from people. They understand that the river is going to win this round, and there is nothing anyone can do about that. But you also got that feeling of resolve from people that once the waters do recede, they will reclaim their town. There is no longer anything anyone can do but pick up everything not tied down and move it to higher ground.
Just any place we can go, everything we can get.
The town of Smithland had pinned its hopes this levee so many people volunteered to build would be enough to hold back the rising Ohio River, but new estimates say the water will top the levee by 3 feet or more, inundating government offices and businesses alike.
We had a plan, but the water's going to be so high we can't really execute that, so we got to go to plan B and maybe plan C.
I want to put this situation into perspective for you. What you're looking at right now is the levee that so many volunteers worked so hard to create. I was here on Saturday and the water was not even up to that levee. Now it's lapping right up there, and by the time this is over, that river will have crested over that levee by about 3 feet. That is going to inundate this entire area of Smithland. And as you can see, it is a ghost town right now. There is no one in any of these homes or businesses. That's because most of them will be filled up with water by the time this is over. One more thing I want to show you. You can see here at the courthouse, this courthouse that's brand new, it's not even open yet. They're estimating that by the time this is over, the water will be about 2 feet up. So it will have been filled with water before it even opens its door.
Unfortunately, it's very disheartening. So, I guess it's disheartening in a way to see the water coming, but incredible to see all the work. Excuse me.
Judge Executive Chris Lasher kind of expressing some of the disappointment, some of the emotion down here as people understand that, again, the river is going to win this battle. Yeah, Jennifer, I am seeing a couple of things here. In fact, you can see behind me, Highway 45 now down to 2 lanes because of this water on the road. This is a main thoroughfare, should have 5 lanes, now down to 2. I'm also seeing a lot of closed businesses. You look around me, car dealership shut down, a McDonald's shut down, even a auto parts store also shut down. But I'm also seeing something else, Jennifer. Look over here to the side, you see some other folks. They are fighting this water. You see them working on this sandbagging, trying to at least try to reclaim what is a driveway. Perhaps they can go back into business at some point. You know, they are still trying to turn on the lights here in Metropolis. And then I want to go to an area just about 3 or 4 miles due east of here. It's an area called Shady Grove, and that's where county officials have really concentrated their concern at this point. That's because they have found a spot that's about 40 homes where water is starting to threaten a significant portion of those homes. In fact, we found one family. They were working furiously on the sandbagging wall around their house. They'd had some problems there. Even the Coast Guard had stepped in trying to save that house, and it's going to be close, Jennifer. You know, we are at a point now where it's supposed to only rise another foot or so, and I saw so many homes that water is within just a foot of that front door. It's going to be a very tough fight for the next 24 to 48 hours. Jennifer?